Here we are again. Really glad you can make it and you're listening again to Steve's Word Room. Great word for you this month. The word is simply this, the word adventure.
Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
So, let me ask you a question straight away. What's the most adventurous thing that you have ever done? Some of you have got some great stories, no doubt. Some of you are feeling a little bit awkward. I'm not sure that my life's all that adventurous. Let me tell you a great story that I read the other day, and it's a simple story of adventure. It's a guy called Larry Walters. He was a 33-year-old guy and decided one day that he wanted to do something. Well, he wanted to see his neighbourhood from a different perspective. So he went down and made contact with a guy who could sell him 45 used weather balloons. He got those, he stored them away, and when the time was right, he decided he was going to strap them to his garden chair in which he was going to sit. He made himself some sandwiches, bought himself a six-pack, loaded it all up. He also purchased a gun, so that once he got up in the air with these weather balloons, he could shoot them one by one and slowly let himself down. His friends loved this. They thought it was a great plan, a great idea, if somewhat massively wacky. He sort of anticipated that he'd soar 100, 150 feet into the air. He inflated all the weather balloons, sat in his chair, got his sandwich and his six-pack with his friends looking on, and they shot him away from the ground. Not a great move. Instead of just going 100 or 150 feet into the air, he went 11,000 feet into the sky, smack into the middle of air traffic control. Too frightened to shoot any of the balloons, he stayed airborne for some time. In fact, 2 hours. The airport had to shut down some of its runways. Not really a good thing. Eventually, he came to the ground, shot the balloon slowly, arrived back down, and the police were there to meet him, somewhat bemused. And they asked him an obvious question. Were you scared? And he answered, yes. Would you do it again? No. Why did you do it? This was his answer. I decided you can't just sit there. They walked off just wondering what was going on inside this guy's head. But I think the word adventure could clearly be pinned to his experience on that particular day. And it's a story that I'm sure has been repeated thousands of times over. There were people in the Bible who went on a great adventure. For me, the Christian life is an adventure. So Jesus comes to a group of guys and he just simply uses 8 words that change their future. He said, come, follow me, and I will make you. And from that day on, their life turned upside down as they followed this man and went on this incredible adventure called discipleship. Jesus said things like, if any one man would come after me and follow me, he must take up his cross to do that. It needs a bit of explaining, but there's a sense of adventure in there. So here's my quote for this month, and tell many people about it. It's a beauty. Ironing boards are just surfboards that gave up on their dream. Don't be an ironing board. Lyrics to a song, any of you that are into your music, you might recognise this one. It's not a particularly modern song in terms of the last few years. And the first verse reads like this. Get your motor running, head out on the highway looking for adventure. And whatever comes your way, darling, gonna make it happen. Take the world in a love embrace, fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. Born to be wild.
Born to be wild.
I want to encourage you this month to be adventurous. Jesus said, I have come that you might have life. He didn't make any comparisons to anybody else or what anybody else was offering. He just said, I have come so that you, me, you, and all the people listening might have life. And in there, wrapped in it, I just sense there's a great sort of shoot of adventure that he wants us to take hold of. So, let me leave you with this. This next month, before I see you again on Steve's Word Room, do a mini adventure. By that I mean not something wild, wacky, don't tie weather balloons to your chair, anything like that. Just do something a bit different. For some of you, drive a different way to work. Whoa, radical. For some of you, have a different flavour ice cream. For some of you, go and have some quiet time in a place you've never been to before. Just something of a mini adventure and then scale it up from there. Hey, enjoy life to the full. That's what I want you to do. Adventure. That's the word for this month. Go and live it. Yeehaw!